Hello everyone, welcome you all in class 8 biology class, and today I am going to teach you about the rest of the topic of chapter 2, that is reproduction in plants and animals, in which I will start the topic pollination. So this is the first step for the fertilization. First the pollination will take place, and then after the fertilization, and then after the post fertilization changes will be there. So what is pollination? It is nothing, it is transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma by various agents. Okay, that means जब pollen grains anther से दूसरे stigma तक पहुँचते हैं, then after the process of fertilization will be takes place. So this is the pollination. Now this pollination, it is of two types, self pollination and cross pollination. So let's quickly understand with this. This is the plant A and this is plant B. So let's see here. These are the flowers and here the pollen grains are there. Now when the pollen grains of this flower, is going to fall on the same flower stigma, या तो इसी फ्लावर के स्टिग्मा पे गिर जाएंगे, या फिर pollen grains are going to reach and fall on the another flowers stigma of the same plant. एक ही प्लांट के उसी फ्लावर पे गिरे या उसी प्लांट के दूसरे फ्लावर के स्टिग्मा पे गिरे, then it is called the self pollination. But if the pollen grains of this plant, this flower is going to reach and fall on the another flower's stigma of the another plant, that is known as the cross pollination. That means if the pollen grain is going to reach on the same plant flower stigma, that is the self pollination, and if the pollen grain is going to fall on the another stigma of the another plant of the same species, that is called as the cross pollination. Now one more type of pollination is there, that is known as the artificial pollination. Now what is artificial pollination? It is the oldest method of pollination in which the desired character can be grow. And how this takes place? Here the pollen grains are going to brush on the stigma of the another plant. Suppose किसी plant के character को लेना है तो उसके plant के pollen grains को ले लेंगे और किसी दूसरे plant के stigma पे जाके उसको brush करेंगे. पर एक चीज़ हमेशा ध्यान में रखनी है, before brushing it, द स्टिग्मा जिसके आप स्टिग्मा पे कर रहे हैं उसके पॉलन ग्रेन्स को आपको पहले से ही रिमूव कर देना है, अदरवाइज क्या होगा, सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन विल टेक्स प्लेस. नाउ व्हेन द पॉलिनेशन इज गोइंग, pollen grains are going to reach on the ovule and the fertilization takes place, then the new plant is going to germinate, and that type of plant is known as the hybrid plant. Okay, now as I told you, pollination, it is a process takes place by various agents. So let's see what are the various agents by which the pollination takes place. So first, pollination of agent. First is wind pollination. If we will talk about the wind pollination, that means it is very necessary to know about the characteristic of flowers as well as the characteristic of the pollen grains. So in wind pollinated flowers, flowers are small, not showy, एंड नॉट ब्राइटली कलर, क्योंकि अगर ये फ्लावर स्मॉल नहीं होंगे, शोई होंगे, तो ये इंसेक्ट को अट्रैक्ट करेंगे, सो दैट द इंसेक्ट पॉलिनेशन टेक्स प्लेस. Second is here, they are neither scented nor producing nectar. Then the pollen grains are produced in large quantities. Pollen grains बहुत ज़्यादा quantities में produce होंगे so that it can be easily carried by the wind. The example is maize, rice, pine, etc. So let's move toward the water pollination. So if we will talk about the water pollination, so let's see the characteristic of water pollination. In same here, the first characteristic same as the wind pollination. A small flower, not showy and not in bright color. Second is the same there. Pollen grains are produced in large quantities, and one more important thing, pollen grains are water resistant and spongy. Why these are water resistant? So that it can prevent the damage of the pollen grains. Examples are Hydrilla and Vallisneria. Now let's see the another example, that is another thing, that is the insect pollination. If we will talk about the insect pollination, here flowers are colored, large and showy. They may be scented or produce nectar. One more special characteristic is there. One more special characteristic is there. The pollen grains are hooked or sticky. जितने भी pollen grains होते हैं insect pollination में, या तो वो hooked होते हैं या sticky होते हैं, so that they can cling to the skin of legs of insect and reach from here to there. And examples of insect pollinations are China rose, jasmine, etc. So this is all about the today's video. Rest of the topic we will discuss in the next video. Till then, bye bye, thank you.